Hello, this is me, the Hope Ready, back in a video this time. Yes, I'm sorry for the delay, and yeah, about the fact that I have colds, but I'm back again. Yeah, it's been about 2 weeks since I posted a video, and yeah, a little update on that for a sec. But firstly, happy 11,000 views. We're coming up on 12,000 views. Crazy how fast the channel's grown. I remember back to, I guess, summer of this year where I had like 5,000, 5,500. So it's really good on that. But anyway, we're here to talk about Doctor Who. And yeah, sorry about the delay, but I finally got around to this. I was thinking of doing episode reviews for each episode, but you know what? We'll just come around and talk about the entire series as a whole. Series 9. What a series this was, guys. I was really impressed by this. And you know what? Just to say this series, in my opinion, topped Series 8. They're the two series I've been kind of, intent on lately and actually reviewing. Series 8, in my opinion, I did a long review on that, but in my opinion, it was just a very strong series, but I also, there were some aspects of, like, the relationships, the love angles, Clara, I didn't like, and I'm just looking back on Missy and just watching all the episodes, she does kind of irk me quite a bit, and so, my opinion, the feature of her in the first part of the series, the first couple of episodes, was just a bit, I didn't really like it, and, in the series finale, where her name was mentioned, so I do feel a return is kind of imminent for her, which does annoy me in Series 10, probably. But this series has officially ended last night, where we had episode 12, I believe, which was Hell Bent. I'm just going to go through the list of episode names here, and then walk through all of the episodes. What was my least favourite episode, and how I felt on the series as a whole. Just to comment on even some of the performance in the series. Doctor Who was obviously Peter Capaldi. Really, really nice performance. I believe he had such a good, demeanor in the series. He went up and down, up and down. He kind of filled all of the personalities I wanted him to. He also acted as this sort of, as opposed to Series 8, where he tried to get stuck in, he was just beginning, he was getting used to himself. This series, he was so comfortable in the character, you could feel in any scene, he was the, he was a toes out of the series. No monster stood in his way, he just stood there and dealt with it without having to worry about what other people thought of him. And it's of course such a great thing when a doctor can just have that presence, have that sort of demeanor on the character. And as always, Peter Capaldi is just nailed the head of this, and he just did such a good job. So definitely star performance going to him. We had Clara Oswald by Jenna Coleman, who featured in all of these. She actually featured in most of these episodes, apart from episode 11, which I'll get to in a moment, but she really surprised me. She really did a lot of good performances. Some episodes where she didn't do as well, but again, she really made up for it when not even just like trying to be like the Doctor, or okay, here's just an example, like, she could really make you feel for her, and then work so well and have such good chemistry with other actors that she kind of umps them up. She kind of propels other actors to her same degree. She really did a good job here. I mean, working on kind of not the best script for her, in my opinion. They kind of toned down Clara's roles. She did have as much screen time. Just the way she was written, she felt proper normal now. She felt like a human, and I actually felt for her for a good part of the season. And she had some really good lines. So on one hand, I think the script was a really good thing. On the other hand, not such a good thing. But in all, it was pretty good, guys. So I really do approve of this. Sorry about the cold, anyway. Commenting on the episodes we had in the series, we had Last Christmas, The Magician's Apprentice. Sorry, Last Christmas wouldn't be an episode, but The Magician's Apprentice, The Witch's Familiar, Under the Lake, Before the Flood, The Girl Who Died, The Woman Who Lived, The Zygon Invasion, The Zygon Inversion, Sleep No More, Face the Raven, Heaven Sent, Hellbent, and those were the episodes from the series. I think every single episode here was a two-parter. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just checking them here to see if that's correct. I think one of them wasn't. There was 2 episodes that weren't kind of linked, but weren't really two-parters. But basically, the majority, about 6 or 8 of these episodes were two-parters. So majority of these episodes were two-parters. That kind of approach really appealed to me, just because I kind of enjoy two-parters. Not so much Zygons, and if you're just gonna put like Zygons and Daleks in, but the Zygons ones that we did have this season were very good, so I did actually enjoy those. Sometimes they don't work. I really felt like it did integrate so well into the series that I felt like one long continuous script going through the whole series. It was such a well written arc for the characters. Even talking about the first episode here, the first two-parter, let's just say, it was a great introduction. Yeah, it did fall down in the second part, I think. The first part was really nice. Magician's Apprentice, really nice episode. Did enjoy that one. It did have a nice introduction. The Witch's Familiar falls down for me. I can't remember why I hated that episode more. It was probably one of my least favourite episodes in the series. I really was enjoying this series, though, as a whole, guys. On episode 3, Under the Lake, I know that's a really, really good episode, guys. You should definitely go check that one out. I mean, just talking about all the episodes, it really makes me think what a wonderful array of episodes we had. If you didn't like the first episode, the second episode, the third episode, you might like the fourth episode, you might like the fifth episode. I did feel like you did have to watch all the episodes to get the series fully, but I mean, some of them were standalone, less than most series, but some of them were, guys. I think this, just like to talk on it, just to briefly say, I do believe this wasn't the most new user-friendly series, if that makes any sense. I felt like you kind of had to be a fan of the show beforehand to kind of get a handle of this. Yes, it wasn't anything too complicated. It just felt like we were delving into a story we'd already gone into the past with the Gallifrey storyline, and just the Doctor and Clara relationship. We'd already gone past the big, breakup in the past series. Don't comment on that, guys. That was just kind of ridiculous. Going into this series, I always felt like, where are we going to go from here with Doctor? Where is Clara going to, develop from here? And you know what? We actually did get a good bit of development. But they were fine with it. Sorry about that. They were really fine with each other, and I felt like we could bypass all of the crap that we had and really get into the grit and knit of the stories. And we were the main theme was like looking at other people's lives and really really honing in on other people's problems, other people's stories, and how it's not just the Doctor and Clara all the time, it's everybody else. My opinion on Missy, played by Michelle Gomez, she made a grand entrance in the series. She always felt out of place in the world they were trying to create in this series. I mean, in my opinion, I think that Michelle Gomez was just too out there, she felt like a caricature, as opposed to an actual human being. I know she is a Time Lord, but anyway, she just didn't fit in, really. I hated her so much. She was just so out there, and this series was trying to be more realistic than ever, be more down to earth, more, oh my god, like the stuff I love in Doctor Who, and it just ended up really irking me when they had Michelle Gomez come in here, trying to act like the biggest pawns I've ever seen in my life. So guys, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what irked me in the series. Let's go into episode 4, was quite good. Episode 5, the girl who died and the woman who lived, they both featured, I forget what the character's name is, but she's played by Maisie Williams. I think her name is Me. I don't know why she's called Me. I think it's because the Doctor finds her that she is like him, and he casually just calls her Me. That was really weird. But anyway, I felt like she was used very, very well. In my opinion, she had just I didn't think she was going to get as much screen time as she did. She had great script that she worked with well, and you know, her lines were amazing. I had no problem with those lines that she was given. If anything, I think she almost felt too much of. She never felt like a villain, really, or one way or the other. She always felt like shades of grey. She was kind of in the middle there. She wasn't too one way or the other, and I really liked her whole approach. Acted brilliantly. Me just had this sort of presence to where they were giving her, and I don't fully get why she came back for all those episodes. I do think a one-off would have been better, but the fact that they did actually integrate her into the season does make sense. If you don't know, spoiler alert, she was in the episode 12, I think, and she ended up going with Clara and Clara's departure, guys, and they left on a spaceship, I believe. So she does have this really, really big impact on the series, and she does fulfill quite a hole left by what Clara would have done, and by what I guess they're trying to put her as a Missy sort of character, but in my opinion, she was a lot better than Missy in the series. Missy's acting was a little dull in the series. I said I hated her, and I think that I feel like her acting has gone down since the last series. At least in Series 8 finales, she had material to work with. I mean, she has the same amount of material, but she just wasn't there for me. Like, I know she can say she's pantomime and all, but you can be pantomime to a degree. But if you're gonna act like, if you're going to, okay, I can't really blame her for her acting, but it's just her acting. Just to me, it didn't feel suitable. So on the other hand, we had Maisie Williams, and she really was good. What did I not like about her? Well, I felt like we could have, I guess we could have, had more. No, she had lots of action scenes as well. I have to comment on that. Like, she really did feel like a good heroine. She never felt cowardly as such, because she was always there. I almost feel like she took away from the Doctor's presence when they were both there. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing for me. I think if you have like the Master type of character, it's good for, the Master to stand up and act like complete boss compared to the Doctor, and then the Doctor come back and say something. But for me, it was just a little bit weird having another kind of Time Lord just like kind of take over and just completely downsize the Doctor's whole presence. That kind of took away and kind of devalued what the Doctor had done for in the series. So that isn't really a hit on her. It's just, again, the writing in the series. I still do love why I still do understand why they did it, and I think that it was a worthwhile thing to do, in my opinion. Again, I do not have the best reliance on accuracy, but I do believe she had a good bit to work with in the series. Yeah, for once I did really, really enjoy most of these episodes. It's amazing. The writing was on par, like, with Series 4, Series 3. It was really, really nice, and we really delved into other characters in the series. I think that, yeah, some of the side characters, as I always say in Doctor Who, were just a little weak. I mean, people were like completely just freaking getting off to these characters. Like, oh my god, they're the best written characters ever. We did have a few golden characters that were really good, but mostly we relied on the villains, and the villains were just what made this. So we had Diox and Zygons come back. Actually, I did really enjoy some of the other characters, like what is her name? Warworld or something, Oswald or something. I don't know what her name is, but she was really good. Oswin or something, and she was fun. Who else do we have in the series? Obviously Missy. So some of the other characters were really good. What episode are we on now? I haven't talked about the Zygon Invasion and Zygon Inversion. Wow, one of my favourite two-parters. Extensively brilliant. it felt like a big thing. It felt like a major event, and the Zygons were just so good. They creeped me out. I'm not even joking. They were the scariest thing. Forget Sleep No More. The Zygons were just there, out there, and brilliant. And I don't know. I just really like the directing. I really like that. It felt like what I wanted from Doctor Who, from Series 1 or something. It felt like this big time thing. And you don't usually get that all that often. And the way they play off the villains in the series, I think, really cleverly done. They never overplayed them. They never made them look, funny. You always took them serious. They didn't talk that much. They were just kind of menacing, as they should be. And they never kind of overdid the Doctor, but they never were shown up too badly by the Doctor, except for at the end, the finale, this part, ironically. But they did. They were really, really well played, really well written, and I've got to give it up because I think these are my two favorite episodes, but I'm not sure yet. Sleep No More was just a really disappointing episode. I thought Sleep No More would be one of the best episodes. It turned out to be one of the worst episodes. This episode just completely threw out the window everything. It didn't it didn't throw anything out the window. Forget what I said there. It didn't throw anything out the window. It just kind of dismayed, any of the character development we've had. It just didn't go with anything that we were learning about the characters. It was just a standalone. It was not very scary. Let's be honest. The CGI was god awful for these characters. I didn't understand the purpose. I did understand the purpose of the episode. Some of the just stupid things that were happening. The handheld, it was a gamble to do this episode, just for the handheld camera work. They used the handheld camera to film this whole episode. I wonder why they did it, and I'm like, you really didn't have to do that, because you're just trying to be Paranormal Activity, and how god awful that became. I just don't understand this episode. It was really boring, and I know they tried to make it as interesting as possible. I just didn't find any depth to this episode. Just didn't like it. Honestly to God, I think a lot of you can agree with me. It was just, it was goofy as well at the end, where the guy's like, and this episode, everybody, you're watching this, your dreams and I sent this episode out, and then I started turning into it. That was okay. I'll give it to the special effects at the end were pretty cool, for the guy turning into a dusty monster or something. That was the only really bit I enjoyed, but yeah, it was just trying to live up to the expectations that it just never got close to. Face the Raven, really nice episode. This is the departure of Clara, and Heaven Sent was the Doctor Alone episode. First of all, we'll talk about Face the Raven. Clara's departure, really well done. This episode, I liked a lot. We see Rigsy come back. I really like the storyline for this episode. And the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes with the scenes and stuff like that. Clara's departure, a little bit melancholy, a little bit overdone, but I guess it's a character we've had for 2.5 years, 3 years, so it kind of seems deserved. So I get it. So it's Doctor Who, you can do that. So yeah, I like this episode. And Clara was gone, and we all knew this. Going into it, I would have preferred not to know that, but of course we had to know. It's today's living day age where you have to know what presents of Tasmania ate for breakfast. Stuff like this. It was just mad, okay? But no, this episode was really good. Clara's departure played really well, and giving all the props to Doctor and Jenna Coleman, and obviously Peter Capaldi. Their chemistry was really nice in this episode. I think they've always had good chemistry, but it really showed in the series, especially in the latter half of the series. Hellbent, the last episode that came out yesterday, my views are kind of skewed in this episode because I just saw it yesterday. I really thought this episode was just okay. I think there's a few plot holes probably found in this episode. They go to Gallifrey. It's just really... Clara comes back, which I wasn't a big fan of, in Hellbent. We somehow somehow in some weird nightmare place. Maisie Williams is back. I didn't like her coming back for this one episode. Didn't even use the monsters in the episode. I was kind of excited to see Weeping Angel's back, but they just showed a Weeping Angel and that was it. The High Council of Time Lords, Watsy Macaulay and Gallifrey, trying to basically kill the Doctor. And what ends up happening is they all shoot each other. So why would you hire these people who can't even shoot in the straight? Okay, I get they don't want to kill the Doctor, but at the same time, why does this episode exist? It really took the Gallifrey storyline nowhere. The whole idea the Doctor was coming here, he really wanted to come here, then he decides to leave, just out of the blue. Like, the villains were good, but they were like just kind of annoying, and they weren't even villains really. They were just Gallifrey. I don't even know what to think of Gallifrey at the moment. It's you know what the problem is? This episode confuses me about Gallifrey. I get that Gallifrey has always been persecuting the Doctor in the past, but are they really the bad people in this episode? No, they're trying to protect people, and they obviously want to avoid danger and stuff. And the Doctor comes here, and then suddenly he's the bad guy, or they're the bad guys, or whatever. It's just who. Okay, and then Maisie Williams, and then he meets her, and then they decide. He's like, "Why are you here?" And she's like, "I'm you." And then you did all this bad stuff to, that you were the hybrid. And then I never even found out who the hybrid is. Just believe me, guys, this episode and the little side plot going on here, seriously, I sound very disillusioned about this episode just because I haven't seen any reviews of it. I don't know what other people thought about it yet, but let me tell you, this kind of brought down my opinion of the series a bit. It didn't ruin it, but it just brought down my opinion. Clara leaves with Missy, and they somehow go off and do cahoodles together. It's really stupid, and they're in a restaurant. TARDIS, guys, the TARDIS, just making a mockery of Doctor Who, really. They have their own TARDIS. It's a frickin' American restaurant. Eddie Rockets, basically, flying around in space. They're making a mockery of Doctor. They're ruining the monsters. They're trying to downplay the Gallifrey's importance. I mean, Doctor casually just kills one of them. What else? Oh yeah, they just casually bring up Missy again, who, please don't get her anywhere near Doctor Who. Maisie Williams, I don't even know if they have a direction for her at the moment, because it feels like they're just pushing her any which ways that they can. They're just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. This really is just one of the most outlandish things I've seen in a while. On the other hand, I think the series as a whole really stuck strong to me, especially the relationship we saw develop, but it almost felt really real. We never got too melancholy, except for the latter half of the season. My favourite parts were when we had the real good action, and also when Doctor got to really let himself out and let his opinions be heard. It was an unpredictable season, and I did like all the in which directions it went. And also, I don't want to make this video too long, because I want you guys to watch all of it. But a really, really enjoyable season. That's probably my opinions for now on the season. I'll talk about it in a later date. But I will give this season, I don't know what I gave the last season, but I'm going to give this season a good, strong 8.5 out of 10. I really did enjoy the season. Obviously, the down points being the finale just didn't work for me. Also, Sleep No More, guys, what the hell was up with that? Clara, that wasn't really a downplay. And Missy, that was just my downplays. Okay, so that's a lot of the season, but I really think that this is a really enjoyable. You can definitely rewatch this season like Series 8. They both kind of have their own styles, which really is really good, because they're not just similar to each other. They're very different seasons, but they honestly are both strong seasons in my opinion. Thank you guys for watching. That is my review. Make sure to comment below your opinions on what you think I should do next, and your opinions on this series 9 of Doctor Who. Now just talk about updates on my channel. So guys, oh, also comment on one thing just before I get to the updates. Yeah, there's going to be a Christmas special coming out this year, obviously Christmas Day. This year we're going to have the return of River Song. I found out yesterday, and honestly, I'm just like meh. I saw the trailer. I think the episode's called the Wedding of River Song. It's like almost a sequel to that, which is, if you know guys, one of the worst episodes ever, so God have mercy on us. I don't know much about it. I know that some guys in it, Alex Kingston obviously playing River Song. We're also going to see Matt Williams or something, I don't know what his name is. He's good, but can he really do anything? This feels just going to be like a really bad Christmas, or like a really convoluted Christmas special like last year. And honestly, I'm not looking forward to this Christmas special at all. And also, River Song has a sonic trowel, so that's kind of a heads up, guys. I wouldn't exactly take it for chronological sense, meaning that because, you know, River Song is one of the most stupid characters and overdone, confused, convoluted characters I've ever seen. So don't take this as Bible, okay, guys? It's gonna be a Christmas special. Have fun. It's Christmas Day. I'm just gonna take it lightly. I don't even want to do a review on it like I did last year, or a preview, because what? It's Christmas Day. I don't really care, and I know that, especially, you know, Stephen Moffat, he's not going to be thinking about it. He's going to be trying to, you know, think of ideas for Series 10. He's going to be focusing on that. He doesn't care about River Song, hopefully. Hopefully he doesn't bring her back. Just make a fun Christmas special. I don't care if River Song is on the screen the whole time, or just for a little entry. There you go. That's her. Anyway, that's enough for that. I'm just going to briefly talk about what's on the channel, the updates for the channel after talking about Doctor Who. Basically, guys, just to make it really quick here, I will be doing the Hub Podcast, which is my famous podcast show, and they will be coming up every, let's just say every month. So it'll be a monthly series, 45 minutes to an hour or more. Episode 10 will be coming out very soon, so that's going to be cool. Then NBA reviews will be coming out very soon, and I'll be doing them on just important matches that have come up in recent times for the Denver Nuggets. And they will be coming, as usual, about 10 minutes, or however long I want to make them. You know, me sporadically lengthened videos. So that'll be cool. The return of the Hub Podcast is going to be very fun. I'm also going to do the comprehensive reviews. Season 1 will be coming very, very soon. I'm working on the first episode. Once I have that filmed, I will be filming the other episodes and gradually uploading them as they go. So that'll be Season 1 of comprehensive reviews on the channel. They're all the cool things coming this year, next year especially, and the Hub Podcast will be coming, starting off first episode this December. So that's kind of what's coming up next. Probably the next episode you'll see will be the Red Dwarf comprehensive review. And yeah, from then on we're going to have lots of fun stuff coming on the Hub Critic. See you all next time. Make sure to comment below and favourite for more. And I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.